I'll second.
Okay, call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Vols, aye.
I'll try to remember to reverse that order on the agenda.
That's fine, it's no biggie. Okay, did you look at the minutes? I think we
I
discussed
sent like
it.
a draft and then I
Yeah.
found that other sentence, so.
Yes.
Okay. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second the motion.
Call for a vote on the minutes.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Vols, aye.
How about we go right to the flood insurance? Bruce, you took a look at it?
I did. I did.
Do you want to look at them, Ron? I guess the biggest question is, do we want to raise it a little bit or leave it where it is?
I can't remember. I looked at, there was 3 different coverages that I looked at. And
Yep.
the one question I had was, and maybe I looked at it wrong, but it showed the coverage at $100,000.
Yeah, that's what we've done in the past,
That seemed low.
does it?
Yeah, that seemed really
Well,
low.
and I remember we've always had those options in the past too, if you wanted to increase or not.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to think about it, I don't think it's due till March, so.
Right.
And you can always question Holmes Murphy and ask them some stuff.
And I was gonna ask them, when the last time they'd done a replacement cost estimator on the building was. Normally you do that every time that you renew.
We did that, was it 2 years ago they come around and
Okay.
re-up the buildings? I can give you that schedule.
It's
Okay.
fairly recently.
Yeah. I want to say, because we bumped up this building and the courthouse itself.
Okay. 'Cause
We didn't bump up as much as what they wanted, of course.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, because after
Kind of.
Rachel, of course, that made all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
Kind of met him in the
With that
middle, I
stuff.
think.
Yeah,
But, of course, these buildings are constructed out of something a little better than the regular
Saves
homes.
money.
Right, and to build a new courthouse.
Yeah.
You couldn't do it for $750,000.
No, you could not. No, you could not.
You couldn't put the sidewalks in.
I think the architectural fees would be that much.
We can wait on that if you want to look through that schedule, or it's up to you guys.
well, it's up to the insurance guy over here. To me, I just leave them as same, because what
Yeah.
the extra money is, you're not getting that much bang for your buck for the higher premium, I feel.
The, basically on personal property, 63% is the average increase from last year to this year.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And the automobiles are somewhere around 23% is what they're going up. So the percentages of the increases here are actually pretty decent.
I've already had a call from somebody calling because their house, their escrow and they thought the taxes went up. I'm like, no, it's partly because of your insurance.
Insurance went up. Mhm. Yeah,
Wow.
yep.
Because they're getting those notices now.
I don't know, I didn't figure the percentages on this, but,
Yeah, like I said, it's no hurry. We just got it on there as we get it.
I can look, I still have the emails at home.
Okay.
I can look them over again and get into it quicker, because I just kind of did a quick look at it.
Yep, that's fine.
Okay,
Just so we
so
get the
can I
payment
get a
to
motion
them.
then to table it?
I would make a motion to table the home, what is this, Holmes Murphy and Associates of Flood Insurance renewal.
Okay, do I have a second?
I will second that motion.
All right, call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Vols, aye.
Ben, let's jump on you.
Okay. Just kind of wanted to give you guys an update about some stuff over at the sheriff's office. Was working with, Ron knows who they are, Data On, with servers over there at the sheriff's office, and had them do some validation and checking, and basically what we found out with the current system over there is it's 7 years old, there's no warranty on it. The OS drives have like 1% life left on them, and they basically said we're not going to replace them because we're afraid if we replace them, the whole system will crash. So I had them quote me out just a new server setup, just to see what pricing was, and actually I was relatively surprised with how inexpensive it was. I had them configure it, basically a like-for-like replacement for what was there. We expanded the processors to a few more, added some like 128 gigs of RAM to each server. Then I had it set up for, in the future, for basically so that way we can just get moved to a new system. And the way it's set up is there's 2 systems in the cluster. I have it set up to add a 3rd in the future, so that way we've got more redundancy, so that way, right now, the way it is, if one server crashes and the storage of one crashes, we're like totally kaput. With this, we'll add a 3rd, so that way there's a 3rd one in there in case one of the virtualized servers crash. The cost for the new setup is, I took the decision on Friday just to purchase it just because of, we're at the 1% life and everything. It was $62,400, which I was envisioning like hundreds of thousands, so. So that way we could get the ball rolling. They said they could get it here within 6 to 8 weeks, which is the quickest they can get one for us.
Do you have that in your budget?
I think Haley and I said we could work around enough of the stuff to make it work for us to.
Between his original and then that extra I put in, if you approve the budget amendment next week.
Okay.
Otherwise, sometimes I said vendors will work with us, if you had to pay half one fiscal year, half another, but.
When we bought all that stuff, we did a contract with Dell Financial, and I think they spread it out over 4
Say,
years.
that might have been your desktops.
I think it was desktops and the data on piece.
Was it on the, yeah, okay,
You'd have to look.
okay.
We were trying to look at vendor history the other day, just trying to see if we had a warranty or anything on some of that.
That, Nick, Mike, at VGM,
Okay.
he may know that.
Now, with the sheriff's department, since you, do they have anything in their budget then?
They've got some area in there too that we can work
Yeah.
around too, so,
That way you're not eating it all out of your budget.
yeah.
But going forward, we thought, because currently Ben handles all the IT needs, and once he knows coming fiscal year 26, he's taken on the sheriff, he'll have control over all that. Is that okay, or do you want it?
No, I would just as soon he takes care of it. We have not had trouble in Benton County. with him
Right,
and-
but I'm just saying for the budgeting, then it's
Yeah.
gonna come out of either
Move it over
the
to
IT or Department 99, not Department 5 for the sheriff.
No,
Just
it
keep it
should
all
be
in
on
one,
Ben.
because he's controlling it.
Yeah. And the other question is, or not so much question, you could find out from the sheriff's department how much they have spent, you know, in the last couple of years
Mhm.
out of their department covering the IT stuff.
Yeah.
That'll give you some kind of idea to figure in your budget coming up here.
Yeah, we can do it. We did a history 3 years.
Okay, way ahead of me,
Yep,
okay?
similar to
Alrighty.
what you guys get, those 3 years histories.
Yep,
Yep.
So I just wanted to have you guys be aware in case there, so when you did see it come through, you're not like, what is this, what's going on here, so you're not.
understand,
Well,
made us notice, no problem.
So I know I made the decision Friday, I'm like, well, I'm just gonna make the decision to sign off on it, I'll tell them on Monday that way.
Yep.
We're-
And so
That way the
my,
ball's even rolling on the weekend, that way they're at least doing something, because I know they build them and then they qualify them and test them and all sorts of stuff from what I was reading in the company, so.
Okay,
Is this through that same,
Yeah, it's the same data on unit. I was gonna go with a different solution, but I kind of thought with the amount of time I had and what's the, just trying to figure everything out over there, it's just easier to go with the same vendor, same solution. That way it just moves the server from one to the other. There's not as much downtime as there may have been with moving to a whole different solution.
okay,
I followed your conversation right up to the point where you said virtual server, and I thought, I'm out now. I don't quite understand how that works, but
we've come a long way.
Yeah, rather than running everything on one individual physical piece of hardware, there's a layer that's in between that allows you to run multiple servers on one. It's essentially what we have, I mean, we've had that over the courthouse for years, and sheriff's office has ran a similar variation of it for years.
good.
glad you know how that's done.
Took me a while to figure out the one at the sheriff's office, but once I got all over their support. And actually, the good thing, the cool thing is, like, we had no support and warranty, but I was having issues with it. They were helping me out with it, giving me support, and I even told them, like, if I even told them, like, I know I don't have support, I know I'm not paying for support, but if you wanna bill me for it, they're like, no, we're not gonna nickel and dime you on this, so they were just willing to help out, which was really positive, so.
We're good.
Say
Which kind
like,
of won me over on their solution, because I was like, really leery about it, because I didn't know much about them, but once they gave me that feeling of that they were there and they were responding to emails really quickly, I was, felt very comfortable with them.
Good.
And they were all US-based support, which was another positive.
Mhm.
That doesn't happen often anymore, does it?
No, you don't, not very often.
I never get that.
Good. Well, Melinda, I don't think we can get yours done in 3 minutes, can we?
That's looking easy.
Okay,
You have the letter in your packet.
yes, I do.
We had it signed over a county held tax sale certificate, I think in June, to the city of Belle Plaine for a piece of property that's just been sitting there vacant. It's between the Greider's service station and the Lincoln Cafe. The city, has taken deed to that property, and they are just wanting us, they're going to, cancel their specials that are attached to the property for the cleanup, and they just want us to abate the taxes from 2014 to 2023. There's $4,221. They're gonna try and sell the lot for parking space, and so it'll get back on the tax roll finally. So we have a resolution.
it's the Iowa Hotel, that's where it
Is
is.
that what it was?
Yep.
So that's with penalty too?
Yes, that's everything, yes.
Okay, can I get a motion?
I would make the motion to forgive those taxes so we can get this piece of property back on the tax rolls.
Okay,
I'll second that motion.
Do you need the resolution? Got it? Okay.
all right, we'll call for a vote for resolution 25-5.
Would you like that resolution read?
It's up to you, it's pretty, I mean, she refers to the code section in it if you
She
want to
does.
mention that.
The County of Benton had held the assigned tax sale certificate to the City of Belle Plaine on a parcel, and whereas Iowa Code 445.16 provides that the Board of Supervisors can compromise by written agreement or abate by resolution the tax, interest, fees, and cost. It is therefore resolved that the 2014 through 2023 tax assessment against parcel listed below as follows are hereby abated in the listed amount to Iowa Code 445.16. The treasurer is directed to strike the amount due from the county system. And that is parcel number 030-41150. And taxes plus interest and everything is $4,221. I would make that motion for that resolution.
Second?
Okay, call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Bulls, aye.
Two of them signed, was it?
Huh?
Two
Yeah,
signed?
two signed.
I'll keep one and she'll take one. There you go, pass one other.
There's the other one.
Zero.
There's that one.
Let me get the other one.
Yeah,
Get that one.
yeah.
This one goes to
Thanks, guys.
Haley.
Do you want me to sign that, Melinda?
Oh, yeah.
Probably. There you go.
All right, Kirkland Workplace, you're up.
Yes.
Christine Bullock, I'm the director of Kirkwood's Workplace Learning Connection, and coming from my annual report of the work that we've done around work-based learning with the schools. And today we've got some new faces here, so I'm going to share some details about who we are and the impact that we have with the schools. So pretty unique to really anywhere that we found in the country, but especially here in Iowa, is that we really want kids to be aware of the career opportunities that are available to them locally in Iowa, get them connected to professionals in the community, and see how they can grow a career here and raise a family. And to do that, we found that the best way is if there's a regional approach to it, so that it's not each school district having to build independent relationships with businesses and each business having to build a relationship with the school. One, for efficiency of turnover of staff on both ends of the deal, but also that they're not competing with each other. So it's not the counselor at Benton Shellsburg getting to a business before the counselor at Belle Plaine and trying to get students into experiences. So we've been providing that service to our schools since the late 90s, largely in demand from our employers about getting so many requests to get into their workplaces, but now even our employers are saying, we need workers, we need them to know about us as well. So we have on our team that we're really designed that we have people on our team across our whole 7-county area. We have people that are specifically school liaisons, where they are in direct contact with the school. Here in Benton County, that person is Laura Miner, that she is a school liaison for all of the public and private schools in the county. But then we also have business liaisons, so that each business has one person on our team who comes to them. So it's not me coming to ask for something to get students into a business and then 2 days later somebody from my team. So it's really both sides have one point of contact. And we help build that bridge with what are students interested in, what do the schools want to provide for their students. That's who our school liaison is helping to filter that ask up to the businesses and make those connections. We also know from our business side, they don't want to deal with permission slips, they don't want to deal with calling an attendance office that the student is leaving the building, they don't want to deal with the liability waivers, so we handle all of that piece too. So really, the business, we want their time. We don't want them to be burdened by having to do any of the other pieces. We don't want them to have to go find the students, we bring the students right to them. So what we do specifically is we contract with all of the schools 6th through 12th grade to provide these experiences. In the middle school, we really want the students to get a broad range of exposure. So we want students that they might have a parent who is a nurse, that they could also learn about the trades, or a student who might want to be, they think in the medical, we want them to see not just nursing and doctors, but the respiratory therapists, the CNAs, all the components that go around healthcare. So in middle school, we do broad exposure, so that it's not the kids saying, I know I want to be this, when really that just might be because that's the only thing that they know that they've seen on TV or from their network. So in 6th grade, we go out to the schools, we do speakers, we coordinate the businesses coming in and speaking to students, and students go around and hear from different speakers. In 7th grade, we do a STEAM Institute, and that's where we bring all 7th graders in our 7-county area to the 4 Kirkwood regional centers, and we have business professionals do hands-on 30-minute sessions with them across 3 different career clusters so that they're seeing a variety. And then in 8th grade, most of our schools do a career interest inventory as directed by the state to start to see what are the students interested in and how they could give suggestions about career paths. So students do that at the school, and then we have them take that career into a financial literacy simulation where they come and see how their $60,000 salary for a career really translate to rent, utilities, YouTube fees, all of those things that students think that their parents just handle magically. Some of the best part is when students are like, wow, I'm actually really grateful for my parents.
That
How
is great.
quickly
I
that
volunteered at
happens.
that.
Did you start that in 8th grade,
Yes.
bringing them into that?
Yep, and we actually saw a need that we've added this now to be a high school level. We've done a more advanced one when they're either juniors or seniors, talking to students about student loans, credit card interest. I don't know if when you all just got out of high school, you were bombarded with credit card offers, and like, oh yeah, they want to give me, a $5,000 credit limit, not understanding that we're trying to get, even knowing that a lot of students are choosing to go directly into the workforce or doing school part-time and working, we want them to be able to have that independence at high school. So middle school, it's broad exposure, but then when they get to high school, we want them to get multiple opportunities where they get to try out things kind of in a low-risk environment. So
We will contract with all the schools that will do 2 school-specific events, so they can pick if they want. We have, for example, Vintage Shellsburg, where we do a career fair in November with them, and we invite actually all of the schools from the county to come to that. We have some schools that they choose to take their students out. For example, Benton Community, we coordinated tours for them to go out to business sites. So that's kind of what we coordinate that they specifically want for them, but then across the whole 7-county region, we let all students apply for 3 job shadows a year, 10th through 12th grade, and they can do 3 internships per year, 11th through 12th grade. And the job shadows are really a great way for the student to get a 2 to 4 hour, sometimes a whole day experience to try something out and try out a variety. We get students that, one student, I think that they said their top choice was that they wanted to be, one wanted to be a cosmetologist, but then her second choice is that she wanted to be a dentist. 2 totally different training plans and career plans. So we want them to try it out, but also for the business side, a job shadow is nice because if a student really is just at the early points of thinking about what they want to do, the business hasn't committed hours and hours of time to that exposure. So some of the businesses that we've had recently this year host job shadows here in Benton County. Frontier, P&K Midwest, a lot of the school districts in classrooms for teachers, Betterton Chiropractic, the Sheriff's Office, Midwest One Bank, Ideal Industries, Bar and Sun Electric, and Iowa Mold and Engineering were some that we have this fall that hosted. And then students can do internships as well, and those are 40-hour experiences that they get Kirkwood credit for, high school credit, and it's a 40-hour experience. And we've had, this year we've actually had a huge increase in Benton County. Right now, currently we have students at Virginia Gay Hospital, No Farms, Tice Automotive, Keystone Nursing Center, Main Street Bakery, Belle Plaine Ambulance, Benton County Conservation, Vinton PD, ISU Extension, and Garland Construction. So quite a variety of places that the students are going. And then we do some large-scale events that these are offered to students in all 7 counties. So our construction apprenticeship fair, for example, we bring about 800 students and we have all of the trades represented in what you would think of a full, contracted construction project. Build My Future incorporates the middle schools in there, and then we do STEM it up to specifically target STEM careers, and then career discovery tours where we have about 55 businesses that open their doors to tours. So this is a recap of kind of where we've been the last couple years in regards to total numbers across our 7-county area, and then where we are year to date. As you can see, we continue to have high increases in our job shadows, and our internships are actually going up more. And these are some pictures of some Benton County students specifically. That up there is a Benton Shellsburg Career Fair, a student that we had in some internships here. You can see at the hospital and No Farms. This is, we had Frontier over there on the left. These are students that did the construction apprenticeship fair and Build My Future. So you see a wide variety of both genders represented there and students actually getting to do the hands-on activities. But then what are we hearing from businesses, educators, and students here in Benton County? First one's from Kayleen Scott, who's at Ideal Industries. She said, our collaboration with Workplace Learning Connection and Benton Shellsburg High School, creating an enhanced internship experience was a great experience all around. We love the opportunity to engage and connect with the future workforce. We enjoyed being able to be part of these students' career exploration. It's a win-win experience. They gained some takeaway skills from the time they spent with us, and we got some great production work. It is sad to see these students go, but it's really neat to see them grow. And that partnership with Ideal Industries actually, Ideal was kind of on the fence about if they wanted to do a full apprenticeship program, which students would be required to commit 2,500 hours to that, which is also difficult on the student side as a high schooler to commit to that. So our School of Business liaison, Laura Miner, she worked with Pat out at Ideal Industries to try and do a collaborative. What if we do something that the students are getting a maybe longer internship experience than our typical interns without having to commit to all of the paperwork and the hours for an apprenticeship? And so they got some really good that the students were there for a pretty significant amount of time. And connect to a great business that's in their local community. This next one is from one of our high school facilitators locally that she said they're thrilled with the positive impact that WLC's career explorations have had on our students. connecting them with job shadows, internships, and explorations opportunities such as a local career fair. WLC is empowering students to explore their interests and gain valuable real-world experience while fostering a strong school-to-workforce pipeline with community partners to best prepare students for success. And this last one's from a student at Belle Plaine that said, my job shadow helped me pin down the types of fields I could go into and helped me choose what to go to college for and what classes I need to take in order to graduate. And something that's changed over the last year is, you've probably all heard that the state has report cards for schools that they put out, like they're called their state school profiles, that ranks them historically on reading, math, graduation, attendance rates. But it also used to have a post-secondary readiness indicator that was based on ACT and SAT scores. After COVID, there's a lot of colleges not even requiring that. We have a lot of students that aren't going directly to a four-year institution that even has those assessments, so it really wasn't a good indicator on if students were ready for life after high school. So the state this year switched it to be that the post-secondary readiness indicator that is on their school report card is centered around how many students are taking concurrent enrollment in high school, and then how many students have a work-based learning experience. And so now, all these experiences that we've been doing for a number of years, our schools are really positioned with the state to have that nicely go into their school profiles. And so we're helping districts with tracking that, and our team, working with them, helps take off the burden of even increasing that expectation. For example, even our biggest community college in the state, DMAC, they don't work with their schools like we do, and so all of their schools in the Des Moines area, they're all doing this independently, and so it's, you know, do they have staffing capacity, the volume of students? So our schools are really set up for success here. And then actually in this county, we have Benton and Benton-Shellsburg actually are able to get some state funding from the state for operational sharing dollars to expand that work here in the county. We were recognized as a top 10 work-based learning ecosystem in the country. The U.S. Department of Education did a call to identify the top work-based learning ecosystems. They did two rounds. There were about 5,000 applicants, and they selected the top 100, which we were part of. And then the top 100 had to apply again to be the top 10, and we were selected as that. But even out of that, when we've done workshops with the top 10 in the country, we're the only one that's working beyond even one county. Most, if they partner, it's like 2 or 3 school districts together. So we're the only that's a multi-county. We're the only that's working with the community college, which also helps to keep up. We're kind of like a neutral entity for the schools. So it's not Benton-Shellsburg owning it and then Benton not really feeling like they own it. So it's a nice neutral group. We're also the only one that has a really diverse funding model. A lot of them rely on 1 or 2 funding sources, which makes them pretty vulnerable when those funding sources change. None of them utilize county boards of supervisors, for example, or I talked to a group in Minnesota, their county commissioners, they call them up there. So we're unique that we use those funds, Kirkwood funds, state workforce dollars, district MOUs, plus some private donations. And then here also in Benton County, I think through this work we've especially had with our operational sharing with some of the districts that has allowed us to give some of our staff even more time at those schools. We saw a 39% increase in job shadows and 166% increase in internships. We used to have 15 or so interns in Benton County. This year alone, we've had 45 students do internships. So it's a pretty good increase. And these are some of the, like, why our work matters and what results we're seeing. The students who participate in our programs overwhelmingly agree that it's had a positive impact on their career exploration. It's made them more aware of local career opportunities, influenced their decision to live and work in Iowa. But these ones that I highlighted here is 60% of our students were offered additional employment opportunities by their business. Before COVID, that was 15 to 20%, and then even like 2 years ago, we were sitting like at 40%. But here in Benton County, we're at 60% of those students are getting offered employment. And so it's a great win even for the business. They get to try a student out. You know, some of them will say, we hire somebody, and then they don't show up, or they quit after a while. It's kind of a test run for both of them too. The students get to see the work environment, the hours. So that's great if even students are like, I don't like that. Great, find that out before you go into a training program, before you apply there, and you're just, you know, help increasing that turnover. And then our students roughly 25% of the region, high school students will take concurrent enrollment. Students who do our job shadows and internships, over 60% of them take concurrent enrollment, which helps them get on that path that if they take concurrent enrollment in high school, they're more likely to go on to some form of post-secondary training, and they're more likely to persist and complete it than students who don't do that in high school. So this is also nice that we're building that full pipeline for students to find out what they want to do. So for our annual funding ask, we ask all of our county boards of supervisors to fund at the same level, which is 10 cents per capita based on the 2020 census. So here in Benton County, that'd be $2,575.50.
That's the same as last year.
Yep.
You guys really spread that out, don't you?
Yeah, our total budget that we have between all our sources is about $800,000. So even, you know, the county boards, it's like we like everybody to have a shared investment, but nothing that's too much for anyone. Even our school partners, by doing this, it helps. Their funds only are about 25% of our budget, so the schools get a pretty good deal. None of them, what we bill for their MOUs, could fund a position off of it. For example, I think like Benton Shellsburg, their MOU contract with us is maybe $2,500 or so. So, and then when they get the state operational sharing dollars, it's actually free for both Benton and Benton Shellsburg schools.
Do you anticipate that as this word gets out, because it looks like it just keeps growing every year, that more and more businesses will come in and want to participate in this?
The big reason we saw in Benton County that huge increase in internships, for example, from about 15 kids to over 40 kids, was our School of Business liaison. She really went out there and pounded the pavement to see business interest in getting internship opportunities available. For a while there after COVID, there was some capacity issue, right? Our businesses were so strapped with how many employees that they had that they're like, we'd love to do this, but one, we can't go out and speak to schools because we can't leave the business, or you know, dedicating somebody to host students for a couple hours in a job shadow was a little challenging. Our rural counties, though, they're really good about when we ask that they're usually trying to find a spot for students. The great thing that we have is we're getting some of our urban counties, those students coming out to the rural counties to do some of these experiences. At the Virginia Gay Hospital, Frontier, for example, we've had a lot of students from the Cedar Rapids area that actually come out here. So that's also a good workforce attraction of people that are still pretty local could see that they could have careers out in a rural area. But we'd always have more need for business, and that's why we don't really go to businesses and ask for money. It's because we really just want their time to work with the students.
Looks like it's a pretty decent program to me.
I've worked both at the career fair and the budget thing that they do. It's fun.
Any questions for her?
No, as the sheriff's office, I've been involved for a number of years in the job fairs and things.
I like looking at, I mean, you're in banks, you're in agriculture, you're in healthcare, you've spread it out to where the kids can really have a good opportunity to, I mean, that's a good idea.
We've
I
even
like that.
had, I forget which specific business in Benton County, 2 or 3 years ago. There was a student that did an internship at a local business, and it must have been like, she must have graduated maybe 5 years ago, because she recently bought the business that she interned at. And so it's cool, yes, the flower shop, yeah. And so it was cool to see, like, you know, again, they even like that entrepreneurship side of teaching kids of running businesses, so that was a cool story that
She
she.
even added a bridal boutique
Oh, really?
to it.
All right, well, that's encouraging. Very nice.
Alrighty.
Okay, thank
Well,
you.
thank you.
Thanks for rearranging your schedule for
No
us.
problem.
I'm double checking with Myron, because it depended on if you got something in the mail or not.
Okay, how about reports?
I had Heartland Insurance last week. went on, it was about 2.5 hour meeting. It actually only seemed like it took 45 minutes. It was really interesting and it's a lot more involved than I thought I was just gonna be kind of sitting there. No, it's a hands-on type thing and it was nice. I got to meet everybody and no, it was a good, I think, good productive meeting, so.
You're always organized with your packets too.
Yeah, and then I get to sit right up front, which is, but in that room, the funny thing is there were, I don't know, maybe 15 people there, and of those 15, there were 3 Bruces. I said, I've never been in a meeting with 3, so they had to.
Tell them you're the bullseye.
Yeah, I'm the bullseye, yeah, call me that one there. But, no, it was good. I enjoyed it, and I look forward to the next one in March, I think the 27th or something like that, so it was good.
Good enough.
Let's see, Thursday, I went to the mental health region meeting. They're kind of working in I'd say maybe they're looking at winding down and finishing things up. They know that it's going to the district in 1st of July. One of the things they talked about that would affect us is anything that was bought with region money, would county money, which was region money, that spending down. They envisioned that all going back to the counties. So there would be, because they said the region doesn't own any property. So there's a couple of vehicles and the stuff down the hallway in the rural access center, that could all come back to the county. That's what it's sounding like.
So then we'll have to pay the insurance and stuff on those then if it comes back to us.
Yes.
So right now, we're getting reimbursed back and forth.
We just kind of got, early on, it's been a struggle on the, what do you want to
Just
say?
knowing what we're budgeting, because regardless if our fiscal year ends June 30th, there could be bills trickling in that took place, so I still have to have proper spending authority in our new budget just for this fiscal year.
Cover.
Not even knowing what we're supposed to be doing for the next.
Yeah, on June 30th, we know that this comes to an end. So they're gonna have to do something there.
Like if it's a pass-through or not, like, we still gotta know if we're gonna be able to do those
How that's
services.
gonna operate. And they're working on that.
Did they say when they're gonna let us know? I mean,
I think they're waiting for answers also.
it's just so frustrating because like I said, we have to have our levies submitted by March 3rd at the latest, but yet we don't know.
We got a lot of things we don't know about. And then Friday was in Eldora at the juvenile placements that I don't know if I think we're a member county.
We are, but that's that 28E we were
Yes.
waiting on.
And there's a piece there that's possibly going to court. They've been in contact with Haley, and we'll wait for more contact.
I think Ray's looking into
Ray's
that more
working
than I
with
am,
it.
but-
Yeah. It's nothing anybody here's done, but
So he's still looking at that 28E, because I know Tony
Yeah.
sent another thing for us to do, but it was too late for today again anyways.
that was last week. Tonight is EMAs at 7.
Yeah, if, I post it because even if 2 of them go, we've always just kind of been transparent. We really don't take any action but then they might possibly talk about that tower stuff though, right? So,
It's a possibility.
yeah, so you don't feel like you have to?
I can't.
I know, so,
No, you can't.
I cannot. No.
yeah.
I can phone in if needed, but
No, we don't live stream that one because it's actually controlled under the EMA's direction, but
Okay,
if 2 or more go, I will go.
okay.
I'm planning on going.
Didn't look like it was a long agenda, but,
No.
So their budget has to be done even sooner than ours,
Yeah.
so. he needs guidance so he can publish his in the paper.
Right.
And then that's how they decide the share that the county pays back to the EMA too. So that
Okay.
comes out of our general sub. So once I hear that, then I'll put that in our figures too.
Then that'll help you with on that stuff. Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to, at some point in time, figure out what time all these meetings are and get those all loaded in my book,
Yeah, well, and be prepared, we'll probably be meeting with Farm Bureau again too. They usually invite us sometime in February.
In
You'll get
February,
the
yeah.
letter on that though.
Yeah, they usually email me or set it up. They just like us to come and sit and talk about the county projects and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
What our budget was looking like and.
Well, hopefully my schedule's cleaned up now after this week. Everything should be all, no more babies coming, everything's fine with that, so we're all.
But otherwise, once we get all these department heads, and then usually we'll start scheduling meetings and they'll come in and go over their budget with you guys.
Yeah, I'm thinking about all the extra ones that go on at night for all the other committees and such,
Yeah.
because I don't have a clue. when
Once
those
they
come.
start, they've all got your emails, so that doesn't always come to me unless I have to post an agenda for them.
Okay,
So you guys should get the communication just directly to you guys for the most part on
Okay.
some of those.
wonderful.
Have either one of you been contacted over the solar project? That guy wants to meet individually with
Wednesday?
us Wednesday,
Yes.
4:30, and then 5 o'clock. Have you talked to anybody?
No, I have not talked to anyone, no. But it's for this Wednesday?
Is it one of our county residents? Because I took a phone call on that.
No.
Okay.
This is the company that's in, I believe it's in Palo, contacted me, and he said he was gonna call you two. He evidently called you.
Yes, he did.
He may have, I may have got a
It's,
phone call. Where was he calling from?
It's in,
it out of Waterloo?
seems like the area code was from wasn't in our area,
Yeah,
like 314 or something. It was a different area code.
I'll have to go back through my voicemails.
And he talks fast.
I tried getting out of it, but
Did you guys want to discuss another meeting this week, if anything works? I know Thursday's kind of out, Bruce has something in the morning, I have something in the afternoon.
okay.
I got
Wednesday
a tooth fixed.
and Friday morning, I have my exec board meeting at 9, but I just didn't know how you guys felt with some more budget workshops, or do you want to push it off?
I'm good for
I'd really
any
like
afternoon.
the departments to get me more budgets, as you can see, that's work on my part to get it all in there.
Well,
I got a wellness meeting at 9 o'clock on Friday.
okay, then how about, on Wednesday afternoon?
I would be good to go after, school gets out at 1. I would be good anytime after 3.
How long
Would you
would it?
prefer in the late morning then, maybe for you?
On Wednesday. Actually, Wednesday, anything after, between 9 o'clock, and I have to have the bus there at 1:45, 12:45.
Okay, or Friday, are you coming to Vinton Friday for that?
Mhm.
Would you rather do it Friday? Because I have a meeting from 9 to 10, he'll probably be in the wellness that long.
They figured 11 o'clock would be the latest we would be in wellness. That works good.
My Friday's empty.
Okay?
Yeah.
You want to wait till after lunch, or just go from 11 and do a couple hours?
I'm
Like I
good.
said, I'm gonna make it a budget work session.
Okay.
We won't live stream, but we have to publish
Publish
that
it.
agenda just because.
So,
That way you guys can go through what you've gotten so far, and I'll probably keep sending you more,
Okay. So we figure 11 o'clock?
if that works.
okay, 11 on Friday, because I
Yep.
did have it scheduled already
Yep.
on Thursday, so.
And so I'll post that, as of now, I'll make it a work session unless there's something that does come up that I need to take action on, then we'll
Okay?
do that.
We'll meet here?
Yep.
Okay, that's in. And then on, like I said, Wednesday, Bruce,
Yeah.
if you wanna come up here, or he did not wanna come in front of all three of us to be televised.
Right.
I get it. Cause I tried getting him to come to our regular meeting, he did not wanna do that. He just wants to do a one-on-one.
Yeah, I can be here Wednesday at 4 or 4:35, whatever.
I'll look in my truck, I wrote down what time he wants me, he wants you at 4?
He said, he staggered them 4, 4:30, and then 5,
Okay.
is what he staggered them at. I
I've got
said,
it written down.
it don't matter, I said,
Yeah,
whoever
just-
comes first, we can stand out in the hallway or whatever.
No, it's not in here.
Myron said that did not come in the mail, so if you want to table
Okay,
that
All
till
right.
next Tuesday. For number 7.
and let's jump on that one right away. Can I get a motion to table number 7, the purchase agreement?
So moved?
Okay,
Second,
call for a vote for the tabling.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Vols, aye.
Okay,
Reports is done.
then are you gonna be able to come up Tuesday afternoon at 5:15?
Tomorrow?
Yep,
That's
Comp
that
board?
compensation board. If not, I wonder if we could let him call in, if you don't feel like coming.
Yeah, I guess.
call my cell phone.
Okay. What
We'll
time
put
is
you
it?
on- It's gonna be here at 5:15.
Right in here. Call my cell phone, I'll make sure I got it charged up and,
Sometimes it works, or an hour, or he could call in on this phone too. We're
Mhm.
already in this room.
And you know how this works? Good. I do not.
It's got the speaker.
Okay. I'll plan on calling in, but if things go smoothly, then
Okay,
I'll
okay.
try to be here. so-
whatever.
Okay.
All right, we got that discussed, so I have nothing to report. We kind of worked on some of the budget work, which we're gonna work on Friday at 11, correct?
Yep, and I sent you
You'll
guys
have
your
that-
supervisor one too, so you guys can
Posted, okay.
tell me the amounts. and
Uh, I don't believe we got any unfinished business, do we? I have rounded up a few people for the townships, but I don't wanna announce them yet.
Till they're willing.
Yeah. No unfinished business. I guess the last thing is, no public. That's awesome. Julia. Very last thing, would you, like to go into closed session?
Yes, that would be great.
All right. Can I get a motion to go into closed session, and whoever makes the motion will have to read
21.5.
Number 13.
Aye. I would move that we go into closed session. The employee, as requested, pursuant to Iowa Code 21.5, paragraph 1, sub I, to evaluate the professional competency of an individual whose appointment, hiring, performance, or discharge is being considered when necessary to prevent needless or irreparable injury to the individual's reputation, and that individual requests a closed session, which she has.
Do I have a second?
I will second that.
We'll call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Vols, aye.
Okay.
Okay, we are back in open session.
And do we need record that we're not going to take any action on anything discussed in closed session?
Okay.
Okay? There's no action to take on anything.
Oh,
One thing I want to mention on budget stuff, so after the libraries were here, you know,
yeah,
by code, we are required to give them a certain amount. So talking with the audit firm, I have to increase their fees that they're getting for code of Iowa, what it says the libraries are supposed to get. But she did tell me, because with some of those we give additional out of local option sales tax because of the ballot. So she said I could spread that out between the rural basic levy and the lost, however we want it, but it does have to increase it slightly.
Is that the quarterly payment that you,
Yep,
okay.
yep.
What percentage do we have to go up?
Hold on here, I'll tell you the amount we have to go. It's really slightly. But I thought I'd notify the libraries too, so. I gotta look at that spreadsheet that Kate sent me. So it will be for fiscal year 25, it was 79.5. Hold on here. Let's just give us a couple different things. Chapter 256.69. Says each city within its corporate boundaries and each county within the unincorporated area of the county shall levy a tax of at least 6 3/4 cents per thousand of assessed value. So that's where I'm gonna fluctuate that. So it looks like an increase of 4,839 total. That'll be divided out quarterly.
Between the 9?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, so I will notify each library about that different change that we have.
And we are at the 6 3/4? We are-
Yes,
Okay.
but she did say I could, as long as I can justify that amount between the two, I can do that.
Okay.
Yeah, they've been very good with all the legislation changes right now with stuff, as you're seeing with the tax reform stuff. They're staying up on it, but then they communicate back and forth because we have questions. I didn't know if, did you guys, any of you watch that budget seminar the other day?
No.
Okay. I think it is recorded, but just kind of tells you why I'm pushing you, what guidelines and deadlines I have, and
Eastern Iowa House Trust Fund, how much did Tracy Albrecht come in and request? Without me looking it up, is that easy for you? I mean, I can look it up.
nope, you have those forms too,
Yeah,
but
I know it.
It was Tracy Achenbach, right?
Yep.
Because the ECOG, the other whole assessment thing too is different than that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Now, does that library money get distributed on a per capita basis?
It's just on our, based on our valuations,
Okay.
and then years past, we approved those two libraries at additional, because I think they were really working hard to get going and. Let me see if I put them all in one folder. Is that the only one you were questioning on those?
yes, that's the only one I,
Because that, the main ECOG one for our, that's based on the per capita.
18,260.
Yep, and then
Yeah.
those other entities, like that WMA one, those are the kind of things you guys need to tell me yes or no to put them in the budget. Right
Okay.
now, what I've done is put them in the non, where I normally do,
Okay,
and then if you guys want to cut some of those out, so what I've done is I did Gina's helped me, we've done a spreadsheet on the non-departmental ones, like the BDG, all those different things.
yeah,
Put a
they're gonna
miscellaneous-
come, ain't they?
Yes, I think they're coming next week. But just things like that, that we're trying to go through and make sure we don't have duplicates, you know, in those different areas. Workman's comp, insurance liability, we're just trying to just, I'm having another set of eyes go through everything with me, and then we're making notes.
Cause I guess I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of them has come and presented their case to us so far.
EDG might be one of the last ones I have coming.
Okay,
The rest of it would be your departments coming in.
yeah,
Because another thing I know we have to do this year is update our hazard mitigation plan. It
okay,
has to be done every 5 years,
yep,
so I've been working with Dean on that.
okay,
We'll have to put out an RFP for proposals for that. I know last time we paid $12,000, I think it was. But it was a local person that was familiar with it, Steve Meyer, and so he
Mhm.
kind of just updated what we had.
Right.
tweaked it.
right,
So just letting you know that would be in this year for planning and management consultation. And then the towers. Maybe
Yep,
We'll talk more
that's a
on
big
that
one.
tonight.
yeah,
Yes.
I
Okay.
figured so, because I
And I think
seen my
that's,
sticky note this morning about the towers, so,
I think that's the place for it to come out of.
yeah,
Okay.
well,
We're gonna have to add additional funding, but
Well, then we have, we have budget for, like I said, outside legal, under the board, other consultation fees. I know, like a project with Myron, when we paid for that surveyor. Didn't that come out of you guys as supervisors?
I don't believe so.
thought
I
you
think
said.
that come out of his. That was 15,000.
So then we have HACAP, I don't think they've come in. They usually give me a Hawkeye Area Community Action Program.
yep, it's in here.
They have?
She sent me that, but she hasn't come to
They're in
present,
here.
so.
Okay, they haven't been.
I know Belle Plaine Community Center, Wayne will not be here, but then his did reduce. His asking was lower than last year.
Did we have that presented?
Yes, that's printed out for you guys.
Yep, it's in here.
How much is that?
5,000?
5,000.
Last year, I think it was 7. So the
I
HACAP,
don't have that one down. Can I see that one?
Yep.
do you want me to just, I printed those with the 3 holes for you. Because at some point, you're gonna have to approve or disapprove at the bottom. And then, like the historic preservation question, just all that stuff I feel like we can hash out during our work session a little bit, so I know what numbers to plug in and not. Did they say if they were gonna send us the property insurance renewal soon?
Yeah, let me see if I got that over
Or sometimes she'll give you a schedule.
Talked about that.
Oh, the East Central Iowa Housing Trust Fund. That's a huge bang for the buck on what we're putting in.
Yeah,
there.
you got it?
Yeah,
How much is it?
Should come.
5986.
I put those amounts in the minutes too, Tracy.
Got it.
And then she gave us a couple other sheets with it,
Yeah,
but her stuff was,
yeah, I got it.
Okay.
I wrote their name down, but I didn't have the figures.
She's sending out the exposure packets in February,
Okay.
and they
So-
have to be submitted to the insurance carriers in April.
Yeah, so maybe I'll get a rough estimate of a percentage increase or whatever.
Yeah,
Because I'll plan for an increase, like you said, everything's going up.
it is.
how about that one?
No, I don't have that one yet.
You, I didn't even check. Do you
If
look?
Ron got it, I gave it to you. Did you take some of that home with you? Because I would have had the holes punched in them.
I'm trying to keep it all together.
Well, if you want to put those on.
I think it's at home in a big pile.
That's budget.
Oh,
I don't know.
Figure out
she had one goes where?
Get it.
She's on next.
I get it. Some of that stuff I put in here, some of it I
Did you
didn't.
share her with somebody?
Oh, God.
No,
Thought she,
used to share it with Iowa County,
that's what I
but
thought.
they had a falling out.
I don't even
Uh-huh.
think
So-
Iowa County has one, do they?
Oh, you put it away? No, they don't.
Yeah, I can get it out.
stuff at home.
Look at the agenda for you and tell you what's on this one.
Too many files.
Do you want me to not email and just print them, or do you still like the emails?
I still like the email.
Okay.
I like to look at that stuff before. Yeah, if I printed all that stuff.
Well, and like I said, sometimes, like, right now, I have it under my auditor's office supplies, but,
Yeah. Well, I mean, if I see something that I want to print out, I'll print a specific page so I, instead of the whole catastrophe.
actually, I don't think they did respond. She was supposed to be getting back to me, she was gonna talk to somebody, so let me follow up with her. Then I thought maybe next week, at least some of those budgets that you've gotten from departments, do you want me to start scheduling them to come in?
See if we get them scheduled, get them in, get it done instead of
Yeah,
pushing
That
it
would
down
really
the
help me
road.
out.
get it moved on so you can do what you need
Yeah.
to do.
I mean, then
Please
you
stay ahead
guys
of it.
can still fine tooth it as we go forward, but just,
Yeah.
especially just those expenses that the levy's based on a lot of that.
Mhm.
So we'll get
Yeah.
the engineers, conservation, and sheriff department, the big ones. I have mine almost done. I was waiting for iVoter stuff because they're upgrading some software in elections from the state. Just little things I'm waiting on, but otherwise, Ben's working on his ITGIS budget. I think he wanted a little guidance too, where to go on, but you guys helped him today.
Well, and I think when he takes the sheriff's office, and he's basically doing it, there's quite a bit of money in there, and it should just,
Current year, we might just have to use that both to get us
Yeah.
going, but.
and then Haley and I had talked about, long time ago, about building funds for, the courthouse has a building fund, but that also covers this building.
Capital projects, yeah.
Well, the sheriff's office has a bunch of money in there. Should we
But you
move
guys
that
have
all?
put that in your,
Should we move that all into one?
you just have a line item for spending authority on that.
Yes.
Because wasn't there something you needed to do over there with?
Oh, there's
some-
always something that needs done.
But I thought it had to do with the outside, the tile stuff.
Yeah, we need to get that. Geez,
And you wanna meet with Cedar Valley Ranch. That's in the works, getting something scheduled. So what we do is usually once a year, we go out and meet at the Cedar Valley Ranch
Okay.
and have a meeting with their branch, since we ultimately own that building too,
Mhm.
this building. And so in the courthouse grounds and maintenance one, Department 51, a lot of those are within that, like some of these things. But the
Okay.
capital project one is an addition. When we did the original bond to buy this, we had a little extra, so it's just stayed in that. I think there's 80,000 left. And then the transportation, that one, when we got that through EasyCog, that was kind of a commingled thing. We had money in there. So we've done the cement work, which is done, right, all that? Is there anything- I mean, right now, what I do is just take whatever's in that fund balance and put it as spending authority,
Okay.
in case something were to come up.
Until it's depleted and then it
Yeah,
just
because
goes
it's not a
away.
levied fund at this point, it's just
Okay.
fund balance being carried over so that we have spending authority.
In there.
and we got all the cement repaired. What people believe is an alley, but it is not, behind the sheriff's office.
That is supposed to be private, isn't it?
I think so.
I wonder if we're supposed to sign there.
Well, that'll bring the investment guy in here madder than a wet hen. Because that's his only access to his
No, I
parking
meant-
spots.
For the county people, obviously, but.
Oh, yeah, but I think it's ours all the way, the whole block. And they access it to use their parking.
Mhm.
And we probably can't landlock
We
you.
fixed that other area out there though, right, the cement.
Oh, yeah, we fixed it all.
That's kind of what capital projects is
Yep.
for, is to
Mhm.
make big projects like that.
Okay.
And the water flows like it's supposed to now. We don't have a big frozen pond right out the back door. Matter of time before we hurt somebody.
Some of that we use ARPA funds.
Yep. Yep.
Is that all done now, ARPA, or will be?
We had to have it all allocated out, but,
We have till what, 27 to spend it?
yeah.
Okay.
I do have another updated spreadsheet, because conservation's pretty much finished out for some of their projects.
Okay.
We have half of the other for the, what is that vehicle we got from the sheriff?
All that
With the
Bearcat.
Bearcat thing.
Ah,
But a lot of the big stuff's done, and I'll have to file my yearly report with them, so I'll share a big spreadsheet with you that I've done with every department and what we've allocated, what's left, et cetera, out of that 4.9. Because a lot of it goes to Raycom too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ah, tower.
Transportation, they're gonna finish their driveway next spring.
Yep, his is allocated for that amount in there
Mhm.
too. If push comes to shove, we would have that capital projects too for that.
Now I gotta throw the plug in for the conservation. Got a call this morning that they're finally gonna start moving the equipment in to the roundhouse down there to Atkins today.
Okay.
They're gonna start tomorrow morning, dropping everything, the trees that are bad from the derecho. They're gonna start on the east side at the Lynn-Benton County line, working to the west. So I was supposed to put a plug in that anybody watching or hears this, that it's happening now finally. The contractors there doing the work, and basically residents should stay clear, stay out of it, stay out of the way.
And that's paid for by that grant.
Yes.
I just like to point that out too.
Well, the access to that on the east side of it, that's chained off anyway, isn't it?
Yes, it's got posts and all that in the
Right.
ground, so I suppose they're gonna cut them off or whatever to get in there with the equipment, but
When that first came available, I don't know how many years ago that was. Pheasants Forever put some money towards that, and we went in and planted a lot of food plots in that whole area, which is now all houses. You know, but that whole area was public access and such, and it was kind of neat to see all those little foundations in there. And
Oh, yeah.
talk to people that used to eat at that restaurant. I said, I had no idea any of that was there. But, yeah, it was quite a place back in the day.
so I just wanted to throw that out there. I got a call this morning from the conservation and let people know it's finally gonna happen.
Good deal.
Good.
Good deal.
PHS is coming next week too for their budget.
Okay.
So some of them have reached out like that, so, but I'll follow up with Kate and try to get some of those hashed out and get going.
Like I still don't know how you're gonna be able to figure in mental health.
I don't know. I
just
need a
don't-
magic wand.
I don't,
Because right now, if I still, how we do it now, we show the revenue coming in for the replacement, and then we show the outgoing. So it's
Mhm.
kind of a wash.
mm-hmm.
So I would assume it would have to be something similar, because if it's gonna be statewide levy, we're not gonna levy internally. So they're gonna have to reimburse us for those services. That's what I'm saying, if the counties were to eat that money, we would have to know by now if we levy or do anything.
Their proposal is 212 pages long on this new group that's gonna run this, and it looked to me like there are gonna be, I'm just going off memory, 6 people per region that are gonna, or per district that are gonna manage this. But I have no idea who these 6 people are. I don't, and they could have them hired, maybe they don't, I do not know. But I'm certain we will know July 1.
Well, and I gave you, I think I gave you all that in your
Yep.
folder.
Yep.
That kind of explains that Senate file 2442 with why we're forced to reduce the levies. And so every year, they're changing that percentage. And then that just trickles in, and it's already implemented in the Department of Management's website. So once I submitted those values, they already control what we can levy for our max.
So in theory, there could be 99 different caps in the state.
Yep, for the general basic. And I don't think that was, just like we pointed out, they have not looked at the cap on general basic since in the 80s, I think it was. Look how much stuff has changed. I mean, how can we not, how can we keep providing these services at increased cost, but being forced to reduce?
Right.
So this is kind of, I thought this was helpful to explain to you guys where I'm coming from getting that. Because a lot of that's phased out, like that rollback money coming back, we aren't gonna get that. The military exemption went from 1852 to 4,000. We don't get that back. Or the homestead. So that's all reduced tax.
I read in the paper that they're working on that they're gonna fix that,
They're
the
supposed to.
homestead.
The 65 and over as well?
Because that difference that we have to provide that tax credit to their taxes, we don't get that reimbursed from the state,
Right.
where we
But
used
they're
to.
thinking about changing that?
That's the way I read it in the article here yesterday.
Because it makes their budget look better than ruins yours.
And that's the stuff I don't think they realize when they do that, how it trickles
Yeah.
down.
All right. We done? For
Yeah,
now?
I'm good, I mean, look over your stuff, if you have any concerns, that you obviously know what departments or what before they come in.
I'll leave this, where do I put it? Just right here.
You want it locked up with my stuff, or do you wanna like set it up here? I mean, it's public documents, it's just
Okay.
budget,
Nobody's gonna rifle
I'll
through it.
just put it up here. That way if I get,
unless you have notes that you wrote.
nope,
I always had it on the window, so that's fine.
there.
I had 2 years worth and you took, you wanted to fold it.
I
remember?
kept it, do you want it back?
No,
I didn't throw it away yet,
no, no,
I'm gonna recycle,
okay.
but I did see your notes, so if you want, I'll save them. He had his little notes.
Was it
so
clean?
He did he showed his work, per se. That's what you're supposed to do.
Good.
All right, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
I would move to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Tippit, aye?